Hello there, this is Sandy, and I'm back at the Babylock Solaris working on some monogramming. And I haven't done a whole lot of monogramming. It's been years since I did it, so I thought that would be fun to play with. So I bought a few designs that I really liked off of Etsy, and I imported them into my machine. And as you can see, I'm working with 3 letters. I used a large letter on the left, 2 smaller letters on the right, and my goal this time was to fill in the background, the stippling. So this is the first, actually, let me get the first try. I have several tries. I used this design first, and I think I should have picked a darker color for the middle, fill in the outer edges. And it was pretty lofty still. It was still pretty, but it's not just right yet. So then I tried the second design that I liked off of Etsy. Sorry, I'm holding a bunch of towels. Here's one of them. That's the 4-inch. That turned out pretty good. And I don't think I need a knockdown for that design. And this one, I think, is the 3-inch. It would have looked better if I used a darker thread. Here is that same design, but with 3 letters. And this is the darker thread. I think I probably should use that thread on all of them, because you can really tell, like, after you stitch it out, sometimes you don't know till you've stitched it out. And then I tried this one because I thought, oh, maybe I need a tack down stitch. And so this design I found off of Etsy, but it took a lot of thread, took a lot of time. So I have several that I need to do. So I thought, well, maybe I'll try and make my own tack down stitch. So then I used, on the screen, you can see I used, the 3 letters, 1 bigger, 2 smaller. I thought I could do all of this in embroidery, but when I tried to do the tack down in embroidery, it wanted to fill the whole screen, the whole hoop. I have a 5x7 hoop. I didn't want that. So then I tried to use the 4x4, and that wasn't quite right because the design itself is 4 inches, and I didn't think that was going to work. So then what I decided to do was just save the 3 letters in embroidery. Then I went over into IQ Designer. I pulled a number 2 shape, which is the square, but it's got rounded edges, as you can see. Filled that in with the stipple. Well, first I had to size it down because it was way too big. And I learned that you need to do that first. Then I added the stipple, and I kind of shrunk everything down in the screens after that in IQ Designer so that the stipple would be small. Then I saved that, and I went from IQ Designer into embroidery. That's why I had the stipple on the screen and with the satin stitcher on the outside. Then I added that, and then I went and from memory, and I pulled those 3 letters and put them on top of the stipple. So that's where I'm at. And then over here, I've sewed out the stipple, and I'm using this heat. It's like a heat away kind of thing. And right now it looks really weird, but it is definitely flatter, and I'm about to stitch out the monogram. So I thought this would be a fun part to start sharing. I was able to use the snowman, was really helpful on positioning the design, and I had centered it, and then I put the snowman. I used the snowman on the screen to center it, the design around that snowman, so that was helpful. Yeah, so when I'm done stitching this out, I will just use, I think it said to use, let me get the box. I think it's supposed to use like a not so hot iron, like pull away the stabilizer on the top. It's called sulky heat away clear film, and you just use a, to read this again, there's a better one out there by Floriani, but I didn't have any in the store, it was closed. So it says use as a topper or stabilizer on all fabrics that can withstand iron temperatures of 260 to 300. Removal is easy. Once the technique is completed, tear or cut away as much of the excess film as possible. Preheat iron to 260 to 300, medium to medium high heat. Always test for tolerance. Place the iron directly on top of the film and move the iron in back and forth motion. Iron all of the film until all of the film is melted and formed little balls. These particles can be easily shaken or brushed off. So that's different from the water soluble that I've been using. I used water soluble on all those other towels I did, so this is a trial and error thing too on whether I like using this kind of stabilizer for doing towels heat away. It's kind of an unfair test because I'm doing stippling too. That's the first time I've done that on a towel. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what other color to use. This is still the K. And these are all tests that I'm doing before I actually work on the real towels that I'm going to be gifting. I don't really have, I don't think I have any monogram towels myself. So I was trying to see how it was done. And you know, you can just do the first letter, you can do all three, you can do just two. So I wanted to try different ways before I decided how to do the actual towels I'm gifting. You know, I don't want to like have them wash them and then you can't see the embroidery, because then why do it? On the back, I've done a lot of research. Most people say to use a tearaway. But there was one person that said use no-show mesh. I tried that on the back of one towel and it was not so easy. It's definitely not as easy as tearing away. So I'm trying to use a good tearaway by Floriani. This is just something different I wanted to do for some people. And you know, I know that they're like really busy lifestyle, so I don't know if they'll really appreciate it. I think maybe I'll do black. That would be interesting. Or this gray, that's too close. The black might be cool. Just so at the next part it looks like it's, I don't know what it's doing. It's kind of hard to tell from the screen what it's putting like there's like several dots going down the K, but it's also doing something around the K. So let's see what it does. This is an experiment. I would have shown you everything I did to get to the screen, but I was doing a lot of trial using the stipple there, trying to see what I could actually do there. And that's where I found out, yeah, if you're doing stippling, you have to make sure you have grouped the letters. In embroidery, you finally found a way to do that. And then you have to, if it looked to me like I had to stipple the whole hoop. So I saw hoop sizes in there. You know, I could change the hoop size that it would do the stippling, but it's not like over in IQ Designer where you can change like the shape and just stipple inside the shape. So that's why I decided, okay, I'm just going to do the letters in embroidery, save the letters, then go over to IQ, find the shape, get it sized, fill it in, and then save it to IQ Designer, and move to embroidery, add it, and then add my letters to the shape that has the stipple in it. And then I had to add a basting stitch, which was another challenge because I had to keep shrinking the size of this tack down stitch, because the basting stitch was like, if I would have just tried to do the snowman stickers without having that basting stitch in there, it probably would have went easier for me, but because I was trying to do both, it kept giving me an error message. I finally ended up shrinking the tack down area that I brought over from IQ Designer even more, then shrinking the K and the M and the K. And then I was able to see, once I did that, that it was outside the line. The basting stitch that it put in there, even though it looked like it was right on the line of the hoop or just inside, it was right on top of it. So then I shrunk that. And finally, when I did the snowman, it recognized the snowman, and I got past the error about being, you know, something about the design was too big. It didn't fit in the, it looked like it was angled. I think also I found out that I had the snowman just a little bit angled, just enough in the hoop that because this is so big for the hoop, by it being angled by just slightly, it was like, you know, making the design, it was reading the design and tilting it, and that made it seem as if it was going to be too big for the hoop. Didn't get that error message in embroidery, but I got it when I did the snowman scan because of the way I placed the snowman. So I learned so much doing just this project. The snowman can be very helpful. But I probably would have been better using a bigger hoop, and then I would have had more leeway. But I have, this is a new 5x7 Babylock magnetic hoop that I got from my local sewing store. Okay, now it wants to do the M. So I'm thinking, maybe I'll do that in the black. Just give it a go. Give it a whirl. This is a gray towel, if you can't tell. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see what it's doing. And it looks kind of odd because of the stippling on top of the heat away stuff. Is that what it's called? Yeah, heat away clear film. But the way this design works, I have to make sure that I pick a darker color in certain spots. Because I was liking that tone-on-tone look with the towels, but in some cases, the way the letters stitch out, you can't see it unless you use a darker thread. So we're learning a lot. Yes, it is working on the M. Oh, maybe that isn't. Yeah, it's using black now. So I think I have to look at it. I think it's going to ask me for another color for inside the M. It's doing the main outline. And if I would have known what colors I was using before, I could have probably done that color sort where you know, you can group the way it sews the same color, but I'm just experimenting here, so I didn't even think of that till now. It's definitely easier for it to sew on top of the stippled versus, I mean, it wasn't struggling going through the terry cloth towel, but it just looks like it's easier on a stipple. It'll be interesting to see how it looks when I iron off that stuff. Okay, yeah, there's like it's like a, I think I'm going to do black again because it's filling in. I could have matched the K, but I think this is just open to whatever you want it to look like. It kind of looks like, what is that, a blanket stitch? I can hardly see it. Yeah, I did a blanket stitch, and now it's going over that. I think I'll get the iron going just in case. And I won't be able to show this video until after this weekend, because these gifts are, I don't even know if they watch this channel, but just in case. I do have a little Cricut iron around here somewhere. Okay, now we've got the K. So, I'm trying to see, okay, so this was, Ryan Rib. So this design is I was thinking this doesn't look right, but it's because it's this one. And this is called Ryan Ribbed, and it's not the ones that I was showing you. I do like this one, and what I found was this one really needed the tack down because of the way it stitches out. So this is my sample of Ryan Ribbed with the tack down. This one was one of the ones I showed you earlier, Queen Bee, or Queen Bess. I like that one. But this one, I didn't get a very good picture of it. It's Fabric Moderne. This is the one I think that, I thought I was putting in here, but it's not. I think out of all the designs, now that I've tried all three, because this is the third one I bought, I think I like the Fabric Moderne, and I like Queen Bess, but I would say Fabric Moderne is #1. And I've got my little iron here. 2 more minutes to go, and I'm going to get my little press. Get my iron going, because I can iron it away right here. Sorry. Oh, I don't know how long that was that way. Just left it. Yeah, that towel that I did using this design, one more time I used it, and I put the towel in the bathroom downstairs because I thought, well, that's good for us, but no, I think it should have when you look at it right now, maybe it's just because of that tack down stuff. Maybe we'll like it after I take that off. What is just not as, what's the word, prestige as the other. It doesn't look as, the quality doesn't look as good to me, but again, I've tacked it down, thinking that would allow the stitch to come to life as good as it can be. I guess it makes sense that when it's doing, if you don't do a tack down, that it could possibly, if you're using the water soluble or heat away on top, or heat be gone, or whatever. Without using those topicals, I think you can. What I'm trying to say is, you can get away with using those topical stabilizers and not having a knockdown. That's what I did with the other towels. I did not have the knockdown. So here we go. It's done sewing, so I'll back you up. Okay, I guess that's as far as you can get. And here's the ironing thing. Take it out of the hoop. It's tearaway. Yay! Oh, I got the basting stitch in there too. Okay, I should take that out. That was, the basting stitch was there to hold down my topical stabilizer. And it did help, with it doing the tack down, it did help. Might have to work on that beginning point because it locked it in. Okay, there's that. Looks like it's sewed over the other parts. Then I'll take this off. I should probably lower that temperature. Forgot about that. Get rid of that. Okay, so now let's see how it looks. Get this hoop out of the way. Yeah, that was a new Babylock hoop that I got. Just trying to, said to go, I think it makes little balls or something. Said it could be shaken off. When I think I read that earlier. I've had to refilm a couple times for various. Now it's coming to life. It's looking a little better. But it just sounds like this stuff kind of rolls off after you heat it up. Looks like a different fabric. Is it flaking off? Well, I don't know if I like this because it's kind of rough. Maybe I don't have it all off. Yeah, I guess you can feel it. And I don't have this on my wood table. I have an ironing thing underneath it. I'm making sure I feel it and get it all off. I don't know. What do you guys think if you're watching this? It's okay. I think I got it. There's the back. I just used tear away. I'll trim those threads a little bit and see if I can shake it and have it look any different, as if it was a real towel being used. So here's what it looks like after the tack down. It's okay. I'm not sure I love it, because when you're using a hand towel, you're just going to go like this and get your face all into that. But it's, I guess this one's more for show. Huh. Yeah, I'll keep playing around here. So it's definitely a different look. Have you ever done monogram towels? And have you ever used tack downs? Have you ever used heat away or heat be gone on the top? What are you using on the back? What's your favorite design? There's some in here that I'm going to try. But like, that's there to stay. That tack down really worked. Now the design itself on top of it, it's not my favorite, but it's not bad. Let me know what you guys think. I think if I would have done the other one on it, it would have been better. Because of this design, the way it's designed. It's probably made for towels with a lower nap. So like, if I did this one on there, I think that would have been better because it's more satiny, whereas this is more stitches. There's some satin here. I thought maybe these letters would be because they're smaller, the satin stitch smaller. Doesn't show up as good. So anyway, try and try again. So thank you for watching. Hope you found this interesting. Thank you.